Okay, what's going on, guys? Grand Rising. Today is, oh wow, my calendar's messed up. So the 10th, Wednesday, the 10th, April, Wednesday, the 10th, 2024. And today, what we're going to be looking at is going to be the dollar index, um, Euro USD indices, and the futures market. Now, really quick, before we even get started, just to kind of update, we did have a lot of news this morning. CPI data did come out. CPI, for us, how the way we trade is news is the excuse to push price to hurt traders. All right, so we've seen price, shoot down super fast on CFD for NAS 100 down to the 17.9, and we were able to take a position. Now, me personally, I don't like to take futures positions until opening bell here at 8:30 here in 4 minutes. So that's kind of where I'm at with this morning. I do think that we're going to see, like when you drop a tennis ball like this, the momentum, it hits the ground, right? Boom, hits the ground, and needs to come back up. So if you're using Fibonacci retracement, what you could do is use the high of the swing or the high of the day to the new current low of the day, and anticipate a 50% or a 50% of the swing balance. All right, those are the type of moves I like to see, and that's kind of what we're seeing. So, um, you know, looking at, like I said, I'm going to pull up in the charts now. Let's see here. So this is going to be the screen that we're looking at now. The trade that I took on CFD NAS 100 was right off that 17.9 level. My goal, as we continue throughout the day, right, is to see this price. Let's see if I can see this. Is it not showing me that? It should be right there. So let me make sure the end of the day is marked right here really quick. What time is it? 27. We got plenty of time. So Alt V. All right, so we have that end of the day marked, okay? And so for me right here, what I want to do is anticipate that as we go out throughout the rest of the day, let me kind of move this over just a tad to give this a little bit more room, is I want to watch price action and structure and candle close. All right, so now that we have, this break of structure in this area, I can kind of anticipate that we might continue to get higher prices going into, the end of the session. Like I said, the tennis ball. When you drop a ball from the top of a building or top of something, the ball falls. When it hits the ground, it bounces, and it should momentum come back up at least halfway before then, falling out. So for the example, what I mean by this is the high of the day, price fell extremely fast, and you usually can anticipate a bounce up to the 50% of this. So the entries I have from 17,900, I'm anticipating to rally back up at least to 18.1. I could pay myself, even now, I could pay myself at 18K. I could pay myself at 18.1. It's all up to, your trade plan. But as this continues to, play out like this, we'll see what New York gives us, see if they go lower first or if New York volume comes behind this and the market starts to buy up. So we'll see. But what we're going to focus on is going to be in Q here and the futures, right? And watching today, what I'm really watching is the order books. Let's see what we get. But I do want to see possibly, with 1 minute left, I kind of want to see possibly like price start to rally back up. And then I want to play back into the 15-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute open or 50% of the candle or the 5-minute imbalance. So I'm going to stop talking. Let's see what we can get for today. The CFD positions look really good. And I'll see you guys on the other side. I am watching a little bit of Top Step as well. We did take that previous day low, so you could anticipate this type of move today. So um, about 16 seconds before the open. So let's get it. Let's get it. I am going to be watching all three as well, just to make sure that we're getting the asset correlation down. So let's get it. So I want to know the low in this market here of this down candle. So this low here of this candle is 18,061. So pretty far. I'm just marking this New York Open, being patient here. Looking at the other two, they look very bullish as of right now. So we'll see if this is just a failure. 52 levels kind of being respected on ES. So I would think if we go back above 52 at all, then we might see some upside. But we'll see. I do want to see this imbalance fill. What's the low on this candle? 18, 053.50. So 18,060 is the low. So basically, I just want to start framing up something here. Take profit's going to be 18.4 and higher, and we'll rearrange that later. We just need to be able to make this move right. Okay, then the stop loss is going to be the bottom of this candle here. So we have 18,061, right? So if price can push back down into the open of the 15-minute candles open or 50% and can fill the 5-minute imbalance, I would like to take that trade. But as of right now, I'm just going to kind of wait this out and see what we get. And if the price just runs off, it's fine. I'm not going to chase it. I already have the CFD position, so I'm just taking this one day at a time. Oh, sorry, I closed down the screen. So that price is bullish here when it comes to NQ, which is good for, like I said, our CFD positions are probably running. Now, the only other market that's running with us is ES, right? So that's really good to see that. I like to see that NAS position really pushing like that. So anything that comes back down into the New York Open, right, could be a potential area of interest. But I personally would like this to slip under those, and I'd rather get closer to that hole, get my entry. So small time price action, like 1 minute is kind of showing a really good trade. So I'm going to be really focused here. 835. Yeah, I want to see it slip right into here. That'd be nice because that gives me a better favorable R&R. So if it was to lose on the trade or something, I would be less susceptible to more risk, which is way better for me. And so really quick, let me see what they're doing on Top Step. So they have long positions at 51.82 on ES. So that's a good sign for me when I'm taking trades on NQ, is I like to see other buyers in the ES market as well. Now YM is failing pretty quickly, not really showing anything. And then we're just sitting in the same area here going into this first 5-minute close. So I would anticipate, like I said, for price to move back down first before I would want to enter this trade, because I already have the entry, like I said, on CFD at a lower spot. But I want to be patient here for this. Now I want to show this too for the 1 minute, just for the price action. So you can see it is presenting a really good signal. It rallied up, right at the open here. And then now it's come back and touched that area. So that's cool. A lot of times, like I would used to play that, but I would prefer, with, the trading is buy low, sell high. I would prefer a lower price to get in. And maybe I'm hesitating, but it's okay. No trade is still the same as a good trade to me. So price is really bullish though. Mm-hmm. I do like how price is building though. I just don't have a place, me personally, where I would want to position my risk based off of a 5 minute. It would be, right now, 20-point risk wouldn't be good. And, to get to the, even the imbalance would be a 40-point risk. So I'd rather just anticipate that people are on that fear of missing out move right now, and they're just pressing the button, and then they'll find a reason to pull it back into an area we can get. And if not, we will just work around it. Overall, ES looks really good. They've got a really good trade on their hands this morning on Top Step. So I'm glad to be in alignment with them today. And like I said, if I was to enter this trade right now, my risk would be 40 points, which is way too much. So I'll be patient here. Now I could come in and make like a 1-minute trade and have my risk. My risk would still be, a little screwed. So just gotta be patient and wait it out. So I'm gonna move this because as of right now, I'm gonna copy this right here, control. And I'm gonna go ahead and move this and just kind of manage our CFD position. Is looking really, really good now. That's really crazy. It's already up 100+ points. Let me check that really quick. So wow, that looks really good. So I'm not gonna chase the trade. So like I said, I am watching that 1 minute, right? But I like 15 5-minute entries on futures. It's just the probabilities work out a lot better for me. So now where my eyes are really focused are going to be inside this candle here, because this is like now becoming a reference point. If you're watching the recording, I'm putting institutional candle, but that's not an institutional candle. It's just I wanted that color. So now let's see if we can get that pushed back. So I'm a better buyer. So let's see how it would look as a sell. Okay, cool. So yeah, filling this imbalance here, or even getting somewhere close to 18-1 would be better than anything to me. So we'll see what we can get. I want to see if ES is going to close above. I mean, NQ to me is running. YM is actually falling lower right now. So maybe they're searching for liquidity. Now this is popping. That 1-minute price action looks really good on NQ. Right. So from the open, we've had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So we're in a bullish market, right? So don't chase. This is where I'm saying on futures. This is why I love being able to have multiple accounts, because on futures, we took that position off 17.9 right after the news bounce. And so now we're pretty much risk off, and we're just watching trade just rally up. If it goes today, that's going to be 300 points, even back up to previous support, 18,175. So that'd be crazy. But let's see what we get here. There's this piece of me that wants to stack a 1-minute position today, but I'm gonna be patient. Where's price at? 18,175. So I'm watching the tape. It's pretty crazy how many orders are actually going. It's starting to, you can start to see where they're where buys are coming in. And I'm just seeing lots of orders on the bid side right now. Right, the bid side is going crazy. And you're seeing, oh yeah, here we go. Let's be patient. Wait for the right timing here. I'd love for price to go back below the opening price, back below previous day, and that would give me a little bit more confluence to take this trade going into 9 a.m. Now let's check. This is all technical, so let's check the fundamentals. And I believe we make sure we don't have anything at 9 today. We have something at 8:45 for the cat. That's in like 4 minutes. And then we have the 9 a.m. We do have quite a bit of news. Okay. The FOMC is until 1 p.m. today. So let me see this really quick.
Oh, yeah, okay, so yesterday I did a bit of yesterday, so I just did one long to close. So that brought my other two X. I was looking on lines to target. So I put my other two X basically. Yeah, real quick here, just wanted to jump in. In the free trades, we do have this USC rate about 5 minutes. So we did watch free.
So moving my risk on my highest position on CFD in the profit, and then I have the lower position pretty much under 17.9. So just gonna be watching how that plays out. Just protecting myself before the news, and then here with futures, getting ready for our typical type of setup. We're looking for something like price to come back into this area, maybe do that, give us the signal off the area around the whole level, and then to rally back up into 18.3s. That would be ideal. So I'm gonna be patient here. So I actually closed down one of my positions on CFD, and that way I'm just risk off and risk free on the rest of that trade. And I can completely put all my focus here on the futures. So the way this is looking, it does look like it's still going to continue up. This first 15-minute close is getting ready to load as well. So I'd like to see it close and then maybe give us a chance in here. But that 1 minute price that I'm looking at on another window is showing me pretty much a lot of bullishness. So there might be opportunity. There is opportunities in there. But just the way I play my game, I like to play this 15 and 5 area. And just something about this right now. Let me look at the price here. Something about, me playing to get to here today. There's an imbalance right here, right? And inefficiency, right? Whatever you want to call it. But this area would be the area I would like to tap back into orders if possible. The price is kind of rallying already. Like I said, I'm not going to chase the trade today. Already having a pretty good week, so just got to be patient. But I am pretty excited about that CFD position. All right, they're really going crazy, and then it's like from here to here is another 100 points. From there to there is another 100. So that could be really crazy. All right, so we can push back below New York Open on the 15 and 5 here. Like I said, I would love to grab an order like that. That would be really nice. Especially in these last 15 minutes. Good. I like to see it. And then looking at the other assets, you know, as we're coming into 9, if you can see ES closing above 52 whole level, then that would be good. But then when you look at YM, I mean, we've just today we've already fell from 39.2 down to 39.7, right? So 8, 9, 10, almost 400 points. So here we go. Let's get ready. Price is crashing. This is what I like to see. Back below, I kind of want to see that 18,100 tap. That would be really good. And then we could use this low here. So what's this low? This low is 18,060. So let me go ahead and get that ready. Take profits are going to be in the 4s. Only want to take one contract on a trade like this, and I really want to see the tap. The tap of the open. So the open is 18,107. And then getting that risk would be below that market, 1861. So that'd be quite a bit of risk. So getting into the 5-minute open would be even better. 88 and then 78.68. So about 20. So we'll see if they can push down below the whole level then to give us the best R&R that we can get. But this is also the area, so I'd be using, like I said, this candle right here, 15-minute candle is low. Because if they were to go a little lower, I think it'd be a wrap. So we'll use what we have on the board, 18,061. Now, if I get that signal in my other window here on that 1 minute in the same area, we have pulled back enough on the 15th. And we've hit the imbalance that, you know, I could see a transition happening in that area, and I could probably reduce my risk down to the 18,110s. But we'll see how this plays out. I like how the price looks right now from where it's at, and it's under New York Open. So just kind of seeing how this price is going to show me anything here. So probably under here, under New York Open. Let's see if I can push back below. And so my risk isn't going to be at the exact lows. It's going to be basically 18,100 now. Because if it comes back down to 18,100 and fills that imbalance, then that would pretty much be it. That'd be the only other next order that I would take. So we're looking at that 18,400 area, and just being honest, if price is going to rally that high, I would think it would take. I would think it would take the highs for the news traders. So we'll continue to watch. Area, you know, the one thing I'll say is the price is below New York Open, so that could be a good chance. The risk is a little close just because of how the structure is, but the 1 minute price action, if it can continue to engulf like that, and then the 5-minute price just take off from this area here in the next minute, then I think we have a good trade on our hands up to the 18,350s. So let's see. So this is the most important moment. We can push higher, then we may have a chance. If not, then this first trade might be a scratch for today. But let's see how this 5-minute closes. They may reach down and grab that area, which is okay. So this 5 minutes, see how it closes. It closed bear. So if we don't see it almost engulf 80 candle very quickly, then they'll probably push lower in the range. Now see, that was it was below New York Open, so it's still, I think, a pretty good entry, but waiting for that tap would be even better to reduce the risk, but still pretty good trade, I think, if we can get back above 18,200 fairly quickly. Because I think if we can get from here, this 1820 levels back into the 18.3s, then we have a good chance to run out the people up here. So really watching this next 5-minute close here in 3 minutes. If we can break structure and go above 18.2, I would think that price could rally up in that situation from that pullback. But would like to see that 18.2, 18.250 hit. So watching the three assets, YM is still very bearish, just sitting at like 38,650s. ES, we'll see if it'll close above 52 here in a second, but we look good. That's one candle is basically engulfing that down candle. So what I'm anticipating is, like I said, is if we go higher high here, I think we could make our way up going into like 11. Because my whole thought process is when whoever created this move here, this huge institutional play, there's lots of people that sold as it was going down, like here, and here, right? So essentially what I mean by that is like they sold at the breakout. So they sold here, they sold here. Let me make those red lines actually. So they sold once it broke out of the or out of the area. So like it broke out of the area, they sold, they sold, they sold, they sold. And I feel like when price makes a low and doesn't break, what it'll do is it'll come back and take those people out, and then it has the potential to then fall or just continue to ball. Right. So that's like where my mind is looking at this setup. So this 5-minute looks good. If we can just, like I said, go and take the liquidity, then we have a high chance of this playing out instead of hitting the stop. But we just kind of play around in this area, and this 5-minute can't close with a massive amount of strength, then this trade becomes not as good. And they may touch the 18.1 level first. So I would personally be willing to take another trade around 18.1 with my risk at the lows, but I'd want to take it a little bit lower than 18.1. So I'm hoping this one just plays out. If this 15-minute can close a back in the range above the previous day low sweep, if it closes like this candle closes and I'm able to make this line solid, to me, I think we definitely get to 18,300 at that point if that happens. So just gotta be patient. Take a look really quick. Index and EU, dollar is extremely bullish. I mean, it's extremely bullish right now. And we have reached back into 105 or 105.10. So, and then for Euro USD, we are at back into the 1.750. So, wow, that news is the excuse to push price to hurt traders. And okay, guys, we're flying up. So let's not get excited. We're floating about 1,000 almost in profit, even at the structure break. So on the futures, we really could be done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually trail my risk. If we do break this structure and go higher high, I'll start trailing my risk as we start going today, because I only have one contract on, just staying safe. So it looks good. We get this 5-minute close here in about 1 second, which it did close higher high, right? So to me now, the set low is here, right? I would think that they could push on this candle, this black candle here that's down. But and for me, what I would anticipate, right, from this moment, when I'm looking at, you have the end of the day, this is the close higher high. So what I would anticipate is that they hold this down candle at least till here, right, or 50% of it, and continue up. Now they may slip right below, take that liquidity, and I'll re-enter. But based off this price action right now that I'm seeing, with that higher high on line graph, to me, that shows me signs that price could continue up to the next whole level. So we'll see what they do. Let's see this 15-minute close. But when I get candles like this, I call them stack candles, right? So, you could come in and be adding contracts if you want. Me personally, I'm just going to be kind of watching this area, as an area to be able to see it continue up. So when do I want to see that by? I would want to see it by the time I get done trading is 11:15. So as long as price can hold bullish in this area by 11:15, then I like it. And if it can't, then I'm not gonna, pay too much attention to it.
That's because, they have to say, whenever they make it so, they think they might be the least birthday party.
So we're up 1100 already today, and we still have, I think 200 points to go. All right, guys. So we can just break through this 18.2 level very strong and push up to 18,300. Even on futures, we'd be up almost 100 plus points on the day. So, uh, but let's see if we can hold this level here. If we can hold this level here, I have good feelings about it all. And then looking at the other two, ES looks like it is going to close above 52. So I do want to show that really quick just here for the recording. Overall market structure helping out comparative analysis, right? With this closing above 52 with this hour, I could see them at least getting back up to 52.40, 52.50. And maybe on YM, right? Dow Jones, maybe they're just searching for liquidity here at the 39,700 level, and she'll lag, and she'll be the one that comes, behind these other two potentially. Okay, so let's see where this price can go. Like I said, if we can extend up to 18.3, I'll probably start securing more of the risk. Just because, like I said, the way that they had me factor in the entry today. Let's see how this 15-minute closes in 40 seconds. Because like I said, the more we push closer to back into range, the better. But the other two aren't really showing me that sign yet. So let's see if ES can close above 52. And then in this next hour, hour and a half, see if we can continue to push up to 18,300s here on NQ.
The reason why we have the products before silver is because silver is pretty expensive. So naturally, I don't really have that many silver traders either.
So right now that 5 minute price isn't looking so great, but that's just a pullback after the close. So as long as in this, with this 15 minute, that 15 minute close is pretty strong. I would say as long as this 5 minute can hold inside this area right here, and not go below this black candle here, then it's fine. But if it starts to go back below and search for liquidity, that might be the end of it for today. But right now we're still looking pretty good. If we can just hold out until that level, we'll have a really, really good day on our hands. Looking at the 1 hour, it looks really beautiful. And when we did get that close on ES above those highs, right? So when you're looking at comparative strength analysis, you did get that close here. So I can anticipate, like I said, 5240s, 5250 on ES, and 18250s, 18300 here on NQ, and then lagger, which would be YM.
That's where the drop is from. They should have supplied it.
So don't like that 5 minute price right now. But like I said, if we can turn around inside this area, it'd be great. Let me look at some other stuff here really quick. Okay. And then really quick, I'm gonna take a look at that dollar. Dollar's gonna take the highs, right? And EU could potentially we'll look for divergence there because EU could potentially hold that higher low. So we'll see what happens there. This pullback here, like I said, I would want a better price. So if I have to factor in a better price, then I'll just have to factor in a better price. But we'll see how it goes. So with them failing at 18.2 range, and not going higher, we'll see. But this 15 minute or this 5 minute can continue to close above that previous day low sweep, then I have more confidence to 18.3. Okay, so let's see if this 5 minute price can hold. If it does and extends up, then we're able to manage the trade a little bit better. So I'm just being patient here. Like I said, the overall market, I like how ES is playing right now. If we can just get this 15 minute to close above the previous day high, we have a good or previous day low, excuse me, then we're good. But this is making me more nervous right now. Just not nervous, but it's just making me more like, just because they might go and slip that stop loss first. And then the 1 minute price doesn't look so good to 18,100. So it's kind of like, depends on how this 5 minute holds up here in 3 minutes. If it can extend up and break structure, then I feel good about it. So I think YM's lagging. I like how, like I said, ES and NQR. So let's see where we finish for today. There's so many people on the sell side that I think they're gonna come get. Let's see something real quick. So I like price action right now in smaller time frames, like 1 minute. If it can continue up here, like I said, on the 5 in the next 1 minute and 50 seconds and close higher high, then we are in a bullish market in the sense, and that would be nice. Intraday, small time frame. So if we can push up, like I said, basically what I'm looking for is this from here to go up, even up to there and fill. When you look at like a Fibonacci retracement from that drop to there like that, I just want to get above that 50 and take profit somewhere. Potentially if it can move that far, right? So that's the idea right now. But the reason why I'm confirming and I feel confident about it is because, like I said, we got this candle to close higher high engulfing on a 5 minute. But we'll see. Looking at ES looks really strong on that off that 52 level as well, right? All right, that 52 level looks really strong, and YM starting to engulf. So if we can get that push above 18.2, I think we could be lit. Okay, so this looks good. So nice 5 minute price looking really good. So we can extend up. You guys can already see it's $20 a point times every point. This will be a 100 point move. So if they can extend up, this would be another $2,000 right here. So price is kind of playing around in that area, but it is showing signs of strength. So like I said, that 5 minute close was good. So this next one, if we could extend up, I'd probably go ahead and trail my risk because my entry is here. We extend up to 18.3, I'll probably go ahead and put my risk in the profit at 18,150s if we can get up there. So still hoping that we can. It looks like a pretty good setup. Okay, so we're still in that area, right? So we'll see what we can get. I don't like the 5 minute right now, but like I said, that 15 can end up closing high, I think, and above that previous day low. Then I think we might have a chance with because ES is starting to show a lot of strength. Mm-hmm. So really sitting in this could be stacking in these positions, but like I said, I'm just taking this one day at a time. But I do like the 5 minute strength, so it's just like if we can continue to bounce off these candles, then good. But I don't want them to try to, slip liquidity right here and then go. So we'll see what they do. Okay, let's see. Really want to see how this 15 minutes is going to close. So if I get that 15-minute closure, I'm going to close this line off as a solid line and understand that we're back in the range. So like right now, I want to go ahead and start already kind of like preparing for that. And so if it does close higher, I can anticipate that we do start to push from that point. But if we close lower than that previous day low, then the signs of weakness could start falling in fairly quickly. ES still looking pretty strong above 52, and then you have YM was the lagger, was starting to engulf on that 1 hour slightly. So maybe we'll see.
Yeah, just a slight question. I wrote Mumbai, but I know that's today. It's the first day, so we'll talk that.
So like I said, I'm really targeting places like this, like Market Open or even 18.3. So if we can get there today, I think I'll be pretty happy. So this 15-minute candle, like I said, I would love to see it close above that area. And I really don't want to see the 5 minute after bouncing away from 18.2 go lower than the candle right there right now. You could tap New York Open maybe, but I wouldn't want to see it go much lower than our entry right now. And really don't want to see it close. I for sure don't want to see it close lower low on a 5 minute. So right now we are getting that area we want to see. So let's see if we can, go ahead and do this. And it is above that line. So we did get the 15-minute strength. So let's see if we can get now just boom to boom. From here to 18.3 would be like amazing. ES still looking strong above 52. So any more slips, I would say inside this 5 minute area, like on the right in that blue box. And I don't think that they'll I think they have a chance I could get my stop loss hit first if they go any lower than that. So as long as that candle on the left, on the 15 especially, and the right actually, can stay above that blue line, the solid blue line, and not close candles below that, then there's a good chance that we still get up to 18 threes. But if we close any 5-minute candles below that solid blue line I just made it, basically, what is that, like 18,153s? If it closes any lower than that, then that could be a rejection of the 18.2 level, and they could go lower. So me personally, I would like for it to just continue, but it is what it is. Mhm.
Squiggles and parameter is all fast. They're like, yeah, you have to, write that. I'm like, this is how it works. And worse. Oh no, dude. In eighth grade, our eighth grade teacher had us switch hands for a week. So those are the right. It was just during the nice little test. Actually, one of the kids in the class was the boys in the class. And he changed to like the left every check. Yeah, stuck with him. Stuck with him. Yeah, that's a big one. Hey, all right, quick update on the poll. Check our news. Over 600 votes in 5 minutes of this poll. 67% are up, 30% are down. Good on the trade our chop around. Jet, you get Hispanic stories like that? Elementary school. Oh, try to make the left ear, try trading the right. Oh, that's a good turn. I thought you meant to ask dramatic stories now. And yes, one of these new builders will be. Yes. Car is great. I blacked those all out a long time ago. So I think I had a pretty idea out of it, but great is what I'll find out one day. Anyway, just want to visualize some poor CPI inflation for you guys to start off and see that trend is struggling, that little ramp up, but we shouldn't be too surprised. I mean, one of the things that's going on, commodities are very high right now. However, this is like the possible total doom. Commodities are also extremely cheap right now compared to stock. So they're both expensive, but are a little expensive compared to something to keep an eye on. Now the dramatic story, I promise, sent by Hope. Keep on learning more about goddamn cicadas that are coming. And Hope sent me this paper, sexualized zombie cicadas may spread.
I like how the price action looks right now. Really good price action there. So it looks like we are going to extend up. CFD positions looking really good too. We're in from the 17,900s on that. So I'll kind of give an idea how that looks. 17,900, we're in, have 903. My goal is to get up into that market open area, 18,150s as well. So let's see if we can get what we want to see here. And then really quick, when you're looking at all the assets across the board, you're seeing that strength now in the 1 hour. You're seeing that good strength off that 52 level, which I'm going to actually make a green, because it's starting to look really solid off that 52 level, right? And now you're seeing the 1 hour engulfing on Dow YM, right, as the lagger. So to me, this is starting to shape up really nice across the board. So we are looking pretty good. It's got to stay right there in that 5 minute, how it's closing above right here. And then we get this 15-minute close. I would say this next 15-minute close would be nice, like that 9:30 time, just kind of like yesterday. Then as we come into the last 15 minutes of the hour, because we like to see the most volatility come into the markets in the first 15 minutes of the hour and the last. I'd like to see, going into 10 a.m., us pushing above 18,300 here on futures. So don't like that price. It looks like they're shelving the market in a sense. So if I was imagining if I had a short really quick, this would be a pretty good short with those wicks like that. So let's see if they pull back into that New York Open, or if they hold this level, this previous day low level that I have marked, and our next 15-minute candle closes bullish above it, or it goes ahead and takes the highs, then I know that we have a chance to get to the 18.3. So
That's full. This is what Jen was talking about. These commodity prices really started to get an inch higher. Like you started getting into the CPI numbers. I remember when you compare 80 was 8.3s. You started to see adverse reaction after you started to see sell off. One speaker said that we could pick up the 90s, stay the 90s a little bit longer for it to really lead into CPI. It looks like the futures market is start to extend it a little bit. That sort of switching like at both times. It's the upside to one, the bulls and wait for something that's sure enough to go down on almost time the highs of the day. Yeah, it's the bull video. Which is what I was
that 15-minute price looks really good. Like I said, next closure of this candle, if they can close higher than that previous day low, then I think 18,300 could be really nice. So I'm actually gonna make 18,300 a green level here. It's also in alignment with that market open, but that looks like a good area for me to either trail my risk if I get a chance to get there, or secure the bag as we're pushing up if we end up getting up there. So would be nice. We're kind of just still sitting in the same areas, so hopefully we can do that. We do have the overall market, I believe, in our favor. As of right now, you have ES playing strong above here. And then I would say this 38.75 quarter level with the 1 hour engulfing makes this look a lot better, right? So now it's almost like ES obviously is leading. This is coming with it. And then now we're kind of the lagger here. So potentially, if I'm reading that right, I'm still kind of getting that all down all the way. But don't like how that's kind of bending over. Let's see. This 5-minute close will be key. Like I said, you don't want to see any, to me personally, you don't want to see any really just like crazy structure breaks, especially below this level, like below our entry. It could happen, but you really personally, the way the price is building up and the 15-minute looks out right now, you'd want to continue to see 5-minute price action go in your favor. Really watching this 15-minute 1 hour price. Good 5-minute close there, right, for the 925. So, I would say this next 5-minute candle could extend up above 18,250. I could see the 15-minute closing a lot stronger. And then ES is pushing, and so is YM. Okay, so let's get this 15-minute close, like I said, to push, and I think we have a good chance because otherwise they're kind of just forming opinions. And then on futures today, like I said, I'm gonna manage my CFD positions, but since we get liquidated on futures positions, if we can get up to the 18.3 today, I'm either going to pull the full position or I'm gonna trail my risk just based off, how long it takes to get there if we get there. The reason why I really like this trade still is I believe that we've turned into the lagger here with NAS 100 actually, and seeing YM engulf and go crazy, and then seeing ES just really strong off that 52 level, just makes me want to see this at least pull up to equilibrium. So 2 minutes before this 15-minute close. Okay, so we're still in a good area. So let's see if we can get this 15-minute to close above 18.2, and then we're able to really manage this trade because I really want 18.350s for like final TP. That would be crazy from 1840s to up 200 points. That would be pretty crazy on the day. But so that's kind of what I'm waiting on today to see what we get. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah. So that's 2 days this week. So
Any other intraday? No.
I like how the volume's coming in right now for that 9:30 like it did yesterday. And you have ES already up, 12 points from 52. So I could definitely see 52.40s, 52.50s on ES. But this volume here is just gonna have to, we're gonna have to see. That 15-minute did close how I like. It's staying above that area. So it's just like now we just want to see them like take out sellers that have their liquidity right here at the low of the day, lower of the or not low of the day, but it's in the lows, right? So if they have double top liquidity here, we want to see that get attacked and just pushed through. And if they just push through it aggressively and all the people that are trying to cover their position in this area here, 18.3 would probably be that point, right? So like I said, I'll probably pull it around 18.3. Or like I said, or manage the trade. So it's just playing.
Well, typically, yeah. I mean, if oil goes higher in price, that means that everything in the world gets more expensive. Like oil touches basically everything, from food to shipments to pumping up gas in the car to making plastics. Shipping oil touches every single market that exists. So more expensive oil gets, the cost of business gets also increases, and then that cost.
Like I said, I like the 15-minute closures. Just don't want to go back below that previous day low. I think we're gonna get that push in that last 15 minutes of the hour, so that'll be pretty good.
Oh, yeah. They got a project that's supposed to take care of, and we're gonna have Eddie and Robert coming in. This trading with everybody today. Wasn't a very good trading day for me, but that's okay. That happens from time to time. We'll be I'll be checking with you later if I do anything else. I'll let you know. It's yeah, we'll that show with that and maybe some
Price is running now. Looks like a pretty good trade. We've been able to manage here potentially, so 18.3 would be really nice. Okay, good push.
Try a short close with 365 one.
Yeah, 18.3 looks really good here for NQ today. If we can push up, I want to see this 5-minute close, closer to 18.250 now, and outside of this area that we have, because now we have like a line graph, right? And if we can just extend up, now we're thinking, like I said, from this perspective here, right? And as price comes into that 18.50, or excuse me, 18.250 area and 50% of the swing of the day, you can start anticipating, you might want to take some profits or trail your risk. Okay, so like me personally, I like to do it like this where it's not in my way. Right, like this. I'll do I'll literally do this right here. And so I'll do it on this side so you can really see the high of the day to the low of the day. And you want to get to about here. And that's when you really got to start making a decision if you have a really good entry at the lows. Okay. So looking at the overall markets again really quick, that's very helpful, right? We are, YM is in crazy push off of that 650 levels, right? ES holding 52 really well. So on our 1 hour, when it comes to In Q here, right? I'd like to see the 1 hour, which I'm watching here on the screen, pull back into market open at this point. Okay. So we're getting 15-minute strength every time. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. That was CFD. So you can see the price levels. I don't want the prices to be different, but we're trying to get up. There's the last up candle, right? There's market open. So even if we can come back to that previous support area, right? That's cool with me. But like 16-18 players could come in and really dramatically push price down. So I'll like to exit potentially a lot of mine at that level or trail my risk to secure the bag.
To the tape. It's one of those days, guys.
Yep.
That's my mix of 240 big milk and then supposed to have with me.
Taking a look here. Yes. So look at the smaller time price action here. 15 and 5 was so good. Good 15-minute entry. So just want to see if we can get this continuation. All right, we're getting 5-minute candles closing above that line, which is perfect, the previous day low line. So to extend up to 18.3 just seems very reasonable to me. Wouldn't see why I wouldn't do it. We've been on stream for a little bit over an hour, so we shall see.
Scuffles was not quite wide enough to take that volatility that we have at that point. And it is post CPI, so we do have a ton of movement here. Look at the size of these candles, they're enormous. You see,
I think I'm missing that same. So that's like scroll back here.
Really good push.
Hard by the end of the day, we're back up to the placement, something similar as the last time.
Really good price action right now. We're getting that push up. So like I said, we get up to 18.3 and I'll probably secure the bag to 18.148, whatever this low and this down candle is. 18.147 3/4. So I just want to see it continue. Now where I'm really focused, really quick here is going to be this candle here, the way it opened like that. And I just want to continue to see it attack that 50% level, right? Because that's a level where I definitely am going to be up, goals for the day. But today I'm going to be a little bit more patient. CFD position rallying right now. Let me see. Let me make sure I got everything on there still that I want. I haven't even looked at that much. So that looks really good on the CFDs. So we're looking good. Looking good for the day, I'm thinking. And so I'm watching these same thing here. Once we've made that new range high, the price can basically fill inefficiencies. So as long as the candles, right, like this here on the 5-minute, continue to from outside of that area that we were in, right, which was after it broke structure or not structure, but confirmed that engulfing here. As long as it holds now at every level, like 18.2, it never goes back lower. I think we get to 18.3 first. So we'll see what we get.
Moving on though, Selman. almost the second consecutive day. Because I'm going to be running total of $7,111 out of that certain solid. Vecata has been on the list quite a few times before. Vecata picked up 7 grand. And Xavier 6,200 trade. Yes, thank you. And finally, Peruse, who has been on our year board for the last couple of weeks, took home $2,700 straight. Thank you. And MXU. Great see Peruse. Guys, that's what I got for you. Again, Jack is back to that top 10. So, catch you all later.
Thank you, Jimmy. Right, while Judy was speaking here, caught another little scalp here.
Yeah, for the guy as well, yeah. And I'm short again now for 23677, so probably gonna go that. Smack in the face earlier.
Job. Hey, Robert, what are you going to trade today, Rob? What do you got? Yeah, thanks, Andre, for keeping that over there. They're going to be jumping in trades. You're right back over again, so we're here for it. I'm on the Toby bandwagon as far as putting up a challenge for myself. It's kind of funny because I thought about it like a day before he started doing his, although we didn't talk about it, so it's a perfect timing. So, the reason I thought about this is because all the micros are on lots of extra. So, I did this something fun also, if he goes me, I'm in the, I would quickly scout me, taking things on AP of who I am, but I'm going to take a whole different angle on this. I'm going to trade higher charge and only trade micros. This is what we're looking at now is my brand new 50K combine. You can see that I started April 10th.
Okay, so still watching the price here. I want to see how that's going to close. I don't want to see price go back below personally 18.2 for today, or I'd probably look to do something else. But the only reason I don't want to do anything is I just want to watch how this continues, right? How this hour closes for YM and ES. Now, once price expands like this, you can anticipate inefficiency fills sometimes in the price, but I think that, based on the area that we have, if we continue to get, those 15 minutes to stay strong, our likelihood of getting the 18.3 is still pretty strong here to me. So when you look at it subjectively here upside down, right, and see that if this was a fall and fill 18.3, that'd be really good. So I'll be happy with that. All right, so this area is kind of getting on my nerves. So let's see how this 15-minute closes in 40 seconds. If it closes higher than 18.2 and stays a strong 15-minute candle, then I think that we still can definitely rally up to here. So
I also marked off M2K. Same thing. My target 5.9 from a break 250. And the final one was down from about a year.
So that price isn't good. As good, I will say. Let me see this really quick. Let me make sure I protect some of my CFD positions here. I don't want to forget about it because I do forget about them sometimes. But I got that all risk off now. So just watching that 15-minute higher open, higher close. Now we have another higher open close to the whole level. So I'd like to see it break through the whole level and take the wick, right? But if you get a close now below this blue dot here, right, this candle, that's going to be a sign of weakness after a force out, which could mean they could push it back down first before they rally up. So, me personally, I would love to see the 15 minutes stay strong and then the overall 1 hours of all the assets kind of give one more push. So I don't like how that's pulling back off that level, right? Remember, like I said, if you get a close below this level now, it's not as good because then they could basically come in and take from swing low to swing high. They could take that. So you just really want to see with this, you know, this next 15-minute close. I would say, you know, if you get really anything below here at this point now, if you get anything below that level, I would say that they're breaking structure on the 15-minute, and the order would be, you know, invalid. It would get attacked. And so that could happen, you know, because the open area is right where the stop is. So for me, like I said, I'm just being patient, seeing how this candle closes. But if I can get another, you know, 15-minute close that stays in this area, then everything will be okay. And then looking at the other two, you know, we're at that 52.20 on ES, and kind of finding some weakness. So it's going to be, you know, a determining factor here to see what happens. But we still, in this box that we're looking at here, I like to make it this color here now because we actually have exited at one time. If we can hold this box now and not go too much farther into like right in here, then we're okay. But I would say if we break any lower than that on the 15, then this price isn't as good. It is showing signs of strength, right? It did go higher high, so that's why I want this level to hold. Now, one thing I will say is I don't like the 5-minute price. Like I'm watching 15-minute price. I don't like the 5-minute price as much. $15-minute price isn't so great. 5-minute price isn't so great. So, like I said, you know, I could pull it for this right here. I can accept the risk. It's really, you know, up to, you know, what I want to do. But as of right now, let me look at this line graph here. You know, I could see them holding this area. So, you know, I'll accept the risk pretty much today. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, you know. But until that 15 was to break lower for me, based off the structure of everything, then like actually like on the line graph here, hopefully it doesn't do it super fast or anything. But until that was to break lower than this candle here, then I'm just watching this price action.
And then it sort of goes to 71.50 and lower to 150. So obviously I decided to lower the position size. They're just going to keep bouncing it. So it's still disordered in this area. So shorts still. Now,
15-minute ES looks still pretty good. And to travel up to that 52.40. So let's see what we get.
time is to go by. So the longer they stay in sort of like the same area that we established around 5 minutes ago, the less likely for all the pullback.
Now those 5 minutes don't look so good. I will say that. I don't like them. So let's see if we can rally up on that 15.
Speak well to like trending days and continuation days. Now that it's impossible because we do have the CPI that came out.
So that 15-minute isn't really holding that level, right? You see it starting to slip below, and that 5 minute doing the exact same thing. So You know, how this hour is going to close in 10 minutes is going to be really key. They may push down and hit that stop. You know, that could be possible at this point. So it is what it is. We can stay above the previous day low, that blue line where you see PDL. If we can stay above that line though, I think there's a chance that especially in the 5 minute, 18170s, if we can stay above that level, I think we'll be okay. Because it's really going to come down to how this candle closes. So I want to almost pull some of it, but I just want to wait it out in a sense too. But I feel like if I pulled it and I could re-enter under like where my stop is, could be the key today. But we'll see. ES still looking pretty good on that 1 hour, like going into this 10 a.m. close. So it's starting to kind of engulf fail at 52.20s. And then YM is kind of like that one today. So don't like the price action right now. I will say that. I don't like how it's looking as of right now. Let me look at my other price over here. Okay. Okay, so just gonna be watching this price. You know, either we're gonna get up here or we're gonna come back down to that 18.1 and tap us out. So. See how this 5 minute closes. And then like I said, we have about like when this 5 minute closes, we'll be coming into the end of the hour. So that'll be interesting to see how we close for the hour. So looking a little bit more difficult, I would say now, you know. Definitely looking a little bit more challenging. But 5 minute close in about a minute. Let's see if it opens even more bearish or if they're just searching for liquidity here. Now, one thing I can say just by looking at this right now, I could go ahead and exit if I wanted to, or move my, you know, sell stop to break even or whatever. But at this point, you know, I'm coming off of like 6-7 days of wins, so I'm just, you know, I'm gonna be patient. But that 15 is not closing how I want. It is holding the 15 5-minute structure, so that's the only thing I do like about this area. But they could definitely come slip me first. Before they decide to take off. So, okay, so let's see how that 5 minute close. Now, if we get an engulfing candle here on this 5 going into 10, that would kind of prove to me that this 15 is not going to close lower than the previous day low. So I'd want to see this candle in this area engulf the candle or go up 80% of the candle quick. But if it just starts to fail, most likely it doesn't work out. Because we're trying to see like the push for the hour. You're trying to see basically it look like, you know, the most extended down that you can, that 50% pretty much like area like down in here, and then see it close and work out if it's going to work out. But if it doesn't work out, then it just goes and hits that area. I may re-enter the price, but I only have one trade on the board on this one today, so. And then the other two from that 52.20 ES isn't looking too strong, but it's still printing a bullish candle above 52. So just kind of waiting this out still. So 15-minute close. The only thing I'm gonna do is reduce the risk down to that wick. I don't want it to go like if it goes past that, it's gonna I don't want it to just go hit 18.1. So I can accept a little bit less risk right there. But that's it. Nothing too crazy. But let's see how this 5 minute closes and how this 15 minute close. Like I said, if we close back above this area, I think we'll be okay.
And that means just patience. Just engage a bit more. There's a focus level on protect price action that you can find on paper or with this note. If you're looking very, very big stop losses to catch either one of these response unless you're selling. So it's on good wait for people to get to for this investment that happened in a while and it's a similar market. I do have a level of 2.7166. Yes.
So we are back to entry, which is, they could definitely slip that liquidity now and tap that area. So, we'll see what they end up doing today. So if they come down and hit that stop and then we get a reaction after that, I would most likely probably try to play that position. Depending on how violent it is. I mean, they're still holding ES above 52, and it looks like they're still going to have an engulfing candle on YM potentially. So just really depends.
So I have an idea. Because what can happen is what today. Even though you might get better trade up on the day, it's better to catch it, make it lower. Whenever I see this market.
So with 1 minute left in this hour, ES is still going to close above 52. And we're not closing personally above the line that I want to see, previous day low. So if that 5 minute here in the next minute can push back above fairly quickly and kind of show signs closer to 18.2, then I could definitely see us getting to 18.3 possibly. So this 5 minute mitigation play off the New York Open. So
That right, so that's another. I think that's another 150 there. So I'm 450 up again. There you go. But must be, whether we have, big move away from here. I might pop in another trade to extend it down maybe for lunchtime. Sometimes gold likes to do similar things to platinum, where it goes into that day range fill as a profit taking move for lunchtime. In some cases, gold.
I'd love to see the bounce right here. 18,300, I would probably call it a day. So I'm tired of sitting here. So good hour close. They were strong. So let's see how now the 10:15 looks. Like I said, any more 5 minute candles below that previous day low. They did close lower low on the 15. So any more candles closing lower than that level, previous day low, and I think they could attack my stop. But if we can just go from here, 18,160 up to 18,250 pretty quickly between now and like 10:15, 10:30, then I think the likelihood of us getting up higher would be pretty strong. The other two look really bearish. You did get the 1 hour engulfing close on YM, showing that sign of strength. So, ES and NQ are kind of searching for liquidity. It almost seems like here. So, let's see what they do. Small time price action looks pretty bearish too, and 5 minutes are breaking lower when you look at a line graph. So. Right now, have a decision to make, I can kind of sit here and wait. Or I could pull it and wait for an afternoon position. Let me think about this really quick. I still like the area, so it's like I'm not gonna take any more trades today. So okay, so still watching this area. Let me look at some small time price action here really quick. And here in the next, but we'll see by 10:05. If they don't show any signs away from the New York Open, I'd be surprised. But if they do, I'm watching a smaller time frame price action on that 1 minute. And if I can see a push above 18,160, 18,170s, I'll still hold into this position. But a rejection again from 18,160, and I would think that this is going to be short-lived. But I do for the recording, it did go engulf on YM and close and show the signal on the 1 hour. So let's see what we get. So I'd say a push right here, a good push back to 18,180s would be a sign, 18,175 and higher. But if they just kind of keep sitting in this area, that 18,1 level might be more of a magnet. So what I think I'm going to do is actually move my wrist to right in the lows of this 5 minute. Right, it's like right in there. But I'm watching this after this 5 minute close. We'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't just clap me in between there. So the 5 minute close is getting ready to load. So that's kind of what I want to see here is how this 5 minutes going to close. Okay, so nothing that I'm seeing here. I'm just still watching that 1 minute price. I'm wanting to see they're battling here at 18,150s. All right, they're super battling here at 18,150s. So it's just going to come down to, the volume, right? The volume showing more downside. So for me, I'm going to probably, let me look at this. I'm going to probably close this out, but we'll see. I'm still watching the small time price action. So if we can get, this is what I'm watching right here really quick so you guys can see. If we can get the line graph break a structure here very quickly like that, and it goes above 18,160, then I'll trail that risk up and monitor this position. That'll be it. Because I don't want to, I'm really playing this 5 minute position if you think about it, right? And I have basically the best entry on that 5 potentially, right? 71% retracement of it. So, if I can just get that 1 minute to go back above 18,170s and this 5 minute basically engulf, I would think that they would go above the previous high, but could be wrong.
Nice range to fix. So it's not like a mean reversion.
We get the 1 minute break above 18,160. I'm going to trail my risk to the low of the market right there, if I can get a chance. You do have 1 hour and kind of engulfing on ES showing bearishness, so that could be, a sign as well. We're just in that box area right now, so. So I'm thinking I'm gonna end up looking for a different position, fam. Let me think about this. So I think I'll look for a different position. I don't know if I want to trail or if I want to exit it right now, just because that 1 minute still doesn't show me what I want to see yet. So let's let this 1 minute close here really fast. And what I'm gonna do instead of closing the whole trade is I'm gonna reduce the risk down to the 5 minute body closures right there. All right, so that reduces me down to about the R&R on this now 140 to 125, so 35. 25 is about a 10-point risk. Excuse me, 14140 to 125. So 35 would be a 10-point risk, 25. So wait, 30 would be a 10-point risk, 20 would be a 20-point risk. So it's about a 15-point risk now. So that's good. I like that area. And then looking at the other two, I think we're at a point where they're going to rally. So, let's see. So we did break that 18160, so I did reduce that risk. Now, if we can 5 minute and go for 5 minute close higher, and this 1 minute doesn't respect 18160, then the 5 minute, if the 5 minute can close higher, then I'll move my risk up to pretty much break even. So it just depends on what happens here next. But I'd say this: if we can get a 5 minute to go back above this previous day low and back in that range, we'll be okay. It's just getting there is the hard part right now. And that 1 minute looks terrible. So I would say, yeah, if it comes any lower than that, then something's wrong, like it's gonna stop me out. So which I'll be okay with that. So I'm gonna probably look for a new position. Or let me see, I keep reading the 1 minute every time before I want to close all the way out myself. And it keeps showing me to just wait it out. So I'll reduce my risk a little bit more. Because if it's gonna bounce off this New York Open and go, cool. But if it's gonna slip lower into the 5 minute, then I would want to be able to play that. So I'm just kind of having to be like, patient here. I usually don't like to move my risk too much unless I'm reducing it down. So I don't want to push it back or anything like that, if that makes sense. That 1 minute price action, I do want to show you guys here really quick how it looks. So if it responds off that New York Open like that, it can keep going, great. But if it just, fails here, then, who knows? So I'm really kind of watching this 5 minute price to see. But looking at the other two, they're not showing any signs of upside either. So I'm gonna pull it with a small profit here today.
Order filled.
So if price, let's see here. So let me see this. Let me pull the CFD too really quick. So I don't want to wait it out. If it works, it works. As of right now, we'll wait it out here till 10:15 for the stream purposes. If it goes, it goes. Today, to have, still, I just want to have a positive green day. And the risk, like I said, it could be worth it in that area. It really could. But me personally, I'm good for today. So we'll watch how this closes, you know, because this is still key to me. What I'm looking at, just to kind of give you guys an understanding. You know, I'm still looking at this. I'm still understanding what they're doing over here on this 5-minute setup. And then the liquidity still sits at the top here. So it's like, you know, between now and 10:15, if there was an opportunity, it would pretty much present itself. But you would be basically wanting to get your entry where we had it, putting your stop, you know, right here. And 30 points is quite a bit, you know. If you're using an E-mini contract, $20 times 30 to 4 6, that's $600 risk. That's kind of like the max risk I'd want to have in a day, right? So, you know, not every day you're gonna have an amazing day. You know, we've had some pretty amazing days. And you know, at one point we were hovering above, you know, and about $1,000 in profits. So to let it diminish, you know, it's part of the process sometimes. It's part of the process sometimes. Now I could have took this trade if it would have been set up differently with you know, more contracts, probably 2 contracts, and would have been able to pay myself and manage the other one like we did here. But let's see here. But like I said, I think they come and slip this level. So now we can kind of focus, right? I think they come and slip this level, slip the wick, right there. And then they hit the 18,100 level and then can rally, right? So right now, what I'm really focused on is how this is playing this 5-minute candle, because we did create a new range and we're just back to the bottom of this range. But there's nothing showing me on like a smaller time frame of reaction that this is going to work out. So I do like how the 1-minute price, I just want to show it really quick, how it's looking going into 10:15. Okay. So when you get price like that, you could literally know the low of this candle here, which the low is 18,128. Right. And then I'd want to be hovering that 18,128. 128. I like the area a lot more now. Sorry. It's 18,128. So if I like the experience, the loss, I'll keep it a small risk, right? But I like, and obviously I could have left my original area. Let me see, 52, and then they gave me what, 28. Yeah, so basically what I'm seeing on a smaller time frame was right there at that transition they engulfed, which I really wanted to get right when it was in the opening of that candle. So if I end up experiencing this loss, it's going to be 1, because I'm not under New York Open, and 2, because I was a little impulsive. And so it is what it is, you know. But if I do end up hitting this trade and we go above this high fairly quickly, this will turn into it was already a green day, but it'll turn into a legit green day is what I call it. So and I do want to position the risk. I want to position it right there on the body closures, not on the wick bottom, but it's a little bit tighter of a trade. So don't really want to give too much, honestly, either at the same time. This can push up to 18,190 like really fast, or like 18,180. I might be able to go in on a smaller time frame and reduce the risk down. But if not, then I'm just gonna have to leave it where it's at. 18,128, 42. So it's a little bit over a 20-point risk, which I don't like that. But I did close at least a bill. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out here. That 10:15, that 15-minute candle really didn't show me anything. So I'll keep this going to about 10:30. We'll see where we're at. So, like I said, a push from here to 18.3, and you know, We'll be 100 points up. We go to 18,250. So if we push to 18,3, I'll probably exit the trade for a full amount today.
So relax, you box the ticks, you don't look at anything else, don't trade large, build up a nice confidence. Here we are. It's so much less stress. No drama.
You know, Deanna, a lot of traders that I've talked to, I mean, it's a lot of work to get a XFA. And there's been many that I've talked to that have blown that way. And like you said, we get excited, we get stoked. Right now, let me take out the whole
Yeah, 18,180 and higher would be great. Anything back below the New York Open, and the price is going to go bearish. So now I will say this too. Me personally, looking at this trade, I still need to be waiting till I think this 18,100 area. So, this might actually come and get me because of the fib retracement of the best area. So where I'm at for today, I'm gonna go ahead and probably pull that too. Or excuse me, I have the risk on, and so the risk is fine, 18,128. So I just know that I'm gonna want that position lower at the 18,100 whole level. So it's just kind of like, damn, are they gonna do that, or let's see. So 5-minute close getting ready to load. We'll see if they show any strength going into 10:30. If not, then I think they're gonna push that 18,100 area, and I'll probably just wait for tomorrow.
And it's a true game changer because suddenly you're blowing yourself away from the
I need to have my risk here personally, but it is what it is. And then looking at ES, they're pretty bearish. It's still above 52 though, which is interesting, right? But still pretty bearish. And then dollar is extremely bullish, taking the highs, while EU is still at 1.750, holding a higher low. So that'll be interesting to see how that closes today.
Once you start looking at that, it's becoming clearer. It's not always easy, obviously, I'm trading this expecting something difficult, but at the same time, there are ways to just deliberately practice that flexibility, and that's the lose.
So by 10:30, I would hope that we're moving up if this is going to move up. Looking at this 1-minute price, just so you guys get an idea of what I'm looking at on my middle screen, is I'm looking at price action hold this low to this high. And I want to see them start attacking the 18, like the 50% of the swing, because then I would think that they could, manipulate up to the higher prices at that point.
So I'll take care of this here. Let's take a look at quick, shall we? All right, Dylan hanging in there. He's in 6th place yesterday, but dropped a 10th. 5K drawdown. Isaac, the $35 drawdown, dropped 5th to 8th. Sama is back in the top 10. Haven't been out of the top 5 while from 14th. Are you ready for the moment? Yeah. Ready. Yeah. Good. Snip.
So what I'm looking for is that 5 minute to engulf here, in 7 seconds. If it can engulf, and then the 15 minute and 5 minutes for 10:30 print really well. Like that was a good engulfing candle. So now if we can basically continue 5 minute opens and 5 minute closes to the upside, then we'll be okay. Right, we did reduce our risk down. We had to. The first position that I had would probably have worked out, which is okay if this one does work out. Um, but it is what it is. So that looks good. Buyers coming in off that 15 5 minute midi. That looks really good. We can continue this price action going throughout the rest of the day and PM session. We'll have a pretty good trade in our hands. And, my CFD, I'm still holding. I'm not really messing with it. And I really wish I wouldn't have messed with this one because it would have played out the same way, it seems like. So we'll see. Until we get to 18.3, we'll see. Yeah, so guys, I can't really see what they're gonna do in this area. They're still kind of, kind of playing in this area. The other two are testing the areas as well. So, 10:30, like I said, I was expecting to be above 18.2. So, with where my stop loss is positioned right now in this futures position, they could slip it, but they're going below New York Open. What would be really nice, like I said, is if the 5 minutes continue to close above that previous day low line. So I kind of think that my risk honestly should be at least of the body closures of this candle or the wick low. But with how price is playing right now, I'll just continue to watch going into the last 15 minutes of the hour and see what I get. Because, I think I could have held my original position and it would have been just fine. So well, it's looking like I might lose, but just kind of waiting it out. But let's watch the last few minutes and go into this hour, and then I'm gonna stop the recording. So just if you have anything to chop it with me right now, just drop it in the chat. Just for like the next 10 minutes, because I'm just trying to watch this position. Who's that on the call? Is that Jasper or Derek?
That me, but I'm trying to sign in. Hold on.
Oh, okay, cool. Basically, if we get one more push above 18,160 on this 5 minute and that 15-minute structure holds and we close above the previous day low, I think that this is a 15 5-minute accumulation that could go higher. Now, my stop loss placement, like I've been saying on that before you hopped on, isn't the best on this one because I'm just keeping it at a certain level for today. I exited the first trade with like basically $140 in profit, and then I re-enter, and this is the position I have right now. But if we can get a push above 18.2, 18.230s, then I'm gonna end the recording side because it has been going now for 2 hours, and I know at that 2 hours and 30 minutes mark, it'll start saying that it can't save, and I want to make sure that I have, for sure this part from the beginning. ES is kind of still bouncing off that 52 level, so that's why I'm kind of thinking that this might have a chance to still go higher, but they may want to come tap to 18.1 first and then go. I really want to move that risk down, but I've already reduced it, so I don't move it back. That's like one of my things. I like if I move it into profit or reduce the risk, that's where it's at, you know. So they come get me here. That'll be it for today. So let's see. YM and ES are failing on the 1 hour right now. So let's see how they close. Like I said, for today, like I have a certain number that I go for per day of risk. So like I geometry wise, I would like to have my risk where that 5 minute wick low is, but I'd rather keep it here because then if I can see, I'll be open to a new opportunity if a bounce happens at 18.100 because it'll be a small, excuse me, it'll be a small risk on the day. I still haven't, lost anything on the day. So it'd be a small risk to stay in that 400 to 600 range if it does take me out, to be open to one more trade today potentially if it takes me out. Looking over at ES and YM, just a comparison, you do have, ES pushing down below 52 now, and you do have YM engulfing on that 1 hour. So we'll see what we get for the close of this hour in this last 15 minutes. All right, so right now it's a red day because I had closed like 150, 200, and then that was like a 450. So I'll have to look at the numbers here in a second. Let me look. So about $300 of net losses for the day. So this is what this means for me. 18-100 could be a bounce, right? That's the better 15-minute position. Now we're coming into the perfect timing. We're below New York Open, but I'd like to see them hit the 18-1 and slip that liquidity on that 5-minute as well now. And then now I'm actually now you see what I'm saying is I'm available by taking that loss to if I do think it's gonna buy today, I'm gonna play in a better area in the area that I originally wanted. So I actually am gonna be here a little longer because I want to see them slip this liquidity and then I can start framing up that low. Now, what I got to pay attention to is ES, right? I got to pay attention to this because what I'm trying to see is are ES and NQ going to hold their levels inside the range? And is this just going to slip the low, right? Because if that happens, then, I can see that. And as well, if they just took my liquidity and I should have had my risk here like I usually do, then that's okay. I need to play a better position more than anything at this point. So like I'm watching a smaller time frame. If I was to get that engulfing, area, on a 1 minute and get that, that 5-minute price action as well, then I'd like to play it. But I'd rather see, like I said, them come for this low right here. And then I'd like to see that reaccumulation inside that 18-100 area. So I am watching a smaller time frame and kind of seeing price below New York Open. Like I said, I'm at about $300 in net losses right now. So that's, this could be the area. I should have maybe had my risk here, but we'll see. And price will tell me if it's, what I should do. Like when I show you guys, I'm looking at a 1 minute, it looks like it's already there. So what I want to see is it close higher, do that, and then try to find that area. Let me watch that 5 though. And see how it looks. Because the lower area is going to be better, but the signal could present itself. So you have to be paying attention to everything. And then let me make sure I move this back over here because I need to see it. So now when I get into a position like this to minimize my risk, I want to be at the low of the market. So I'm just basically looking at, 18-125. So if it goes higher than there and comes back, then I already know that that's my risk, which is that 1 minute, 5-minute low. As soon as the 1 minute would close above New York Open and then come back down, I mean, you could take it. You could be taking it right now if you wanted to, basing it off the 50% of the last down of this 5-minute candle. So I'm going to start framing up a move here. This is the right time for me. Stop loss is going to be right in here, 18-125. 18-125, and then my take profit is at 18-300s. And so now what I'm watching is a 1 minute, and when I see that signal in this area, I'm going to take that trade. I want to see that 5 minute. There it is. Here it goes. So if it bounces back down in 38 seconds, I'll probably take this and put my risk right where it says. I like where ES is playing below 52 on the pullback. So we'll see how this 1 minute plays down. About 15 seconds. And I want to buy when it's crashing on the 1 minute. So I want to see that close above New York Open though. Okay. It did close above, so now you can buy below New York Open and get the best risk. So it pushes a little bit more, 36. Let's see, let's try there. So why I'm doing that is because this is what it looks like on the 1. I tried to get the here, so I needed 36, but Same thing, basically. I'm trying to get in here to get just up to here. If I can get above that 5-minute high, I can manage this trade. About a 12, 13-point risk. Now, based off the numbers, if I was to lose this trade fairly quickly, the only area I would play is at 18-1. Based off today, yeah. Kind of see how ES is going to react there at that 51.96. Yeah, the max I want to risk in a day is $600. So those 15 minutes just kind of look weak. But I'm basically looking at those 1 hours on ES and NAS, and I'm like, are they absorbing people basically? Because they're still inside the last down candles, right? So basically, I'll show you guys here what I'm looking at here. It's like on that 1 hour, I just feel like they're absorbing, right? I feel like they're absorbing on ES at 52 level. So if the 15-minute can expand and go take this high, then the likelihood of getting the 18.3 today would be nice still. So just depends. I have about 300, almost $400 in losses. I have to do the math, but it's right around there today. So if this was to expand up to 18.3, boy, you know what I mean? We out of there type shit. Let's see. Definitely be out of there. Just depends if it can, how this 5 minutes going to close and this 15-minute together in this hour. Because if the 11 a.m. volume comes in, and buyers come in at the low of this range and push this trade up, it'll kind of prove my point on my first trade that I should have just kept the risk at that 5-minute wick low, like I always preach. But like I said, I'm trying to manage, numbers across the board. So just trying to stay calm too at the same time. So we want to see this candle here on the 5. We want to see it get closed higher, and we want to see the line graph essentially start building to attack those two. And we want the 1 hour to close above New York Open. So when this 1 hour closes in 5 minutes, you want your 1 hour to be at this time of day to be closing above New York Open, so that when the what's I looking for? Where is it at here? When the 4 hour closes in 2 hours, that you're going to start trending up for the rest of the day. So I'm looking at like smaller time frame price action, right? We're getting that, pattern that we like to see, that I like to read. And so now price can just, build its way up, take out liquidity, right? We can manage the trade here. We'd be up like, X amount of points, focusing on this candle here. You don't get a strong rejection, then so you don't get a strong rejection, then cool. Maybe it just breaks through. Now you can start scaling out or trailing your risk if this was to work out. That's how I'm basically envisioning what could happen. If it could work out. I have no idea. But I try to focus here in 15 going into this time of day. Because we want that 15-minute to close the bullish candle and start attacking if it's going to work. Again, though, they may want the 18,100 area as well. So like, essentially I'm looking for price to like come up out of this area and take these highs and then hold this level 18.2 and then slowly make its way up above 250 and then maybe finish the day something like that up in there to fill more of this, huge drop. But they don't have to, but that's kind of what I'm anticipating, at least to get to 18,250 today. Like from here, I basically have this swing from the lows to the highs. And so the halfway point is what I would anticipate to at least get to take profit. What I'm looking for really quick on small time price action is, like I said, I'm looking for like highs like this to get like blasted very quickly here. Like if those can get hit quickly, then, I can, and then watch candle closures on 5 and 15 in 1 hour, then I can basically, kind of gauge at this time of day that we do have a chance of possibly running out that 18,230s. So basically, I'm trying to see if ES is going to close above 51.96 as well, because at this time of day, if we're not going to go lower and push, then this is kind of like a good higher low area. Low on ES is 51.76 and 2/4. So they're still, about 20 points away from the lows, which is a pretty good gauge on there. But the way prices see how close is closing on the 5 minute here, now if we can get a big pump after this close in 12 seconds to take 18 180s, then it's like, okay, we might have something on our hands here. Good 1 hour closes. They're all showing a little bit of volume here, so we'll see. We play below the open, so to get back above previous day low sweep, that would even be a kind of a sign that they may start going higher, which is basically the 18 160s. So this first 15 minutes like are the most powerful volatility volume times are the first and last 15 minutes of an hour. So this 15 minute can get find some volume here, then price could possibly rally. I believe we have that news. That news, I believe, is about to come out as well. So that could be crazy. Who knows? Or it's at 11:45, I believe, our time. Yeah, 11:45. FOMC member speaks.
And welcome to our players. We got
About to listen to Peter here.
very wonderful.
One thing you can notice is YM did close lower low on that 1 hour. So we are in range on the other two, ES and Q. But you really like where I'm really focusing on ES is 51.96. If it closes below 51.96, then because they're usually in alignment, right? If we're gonna pull up here, then you're gonna see 51.96 most likely hold. A lot of buy volume coming into the market right now. I've actually got the volume indicator up over here in another window, and a lot of volume just came in. So when I'm evaluating, the swing of the trade and stuff like that, that's a good 5 minute close, right? When you're looking at from 11, that's like 11 to 11:05. Now we're pulling back. So with this 15-minute close, if it's higher open, higher close, higher open, higher close, and they're keep becoming bullish candles, then I'm still anticipating like now sometimes I have to flip it upside down to trick myself, right? And it just makes sense to I think to fill that inefficiency at 18.3. But we'll see. Like I said, they still might push lower below this wick here. But as long as they can hold this 5 minute structure right here, going into like 11:15, then as soon as we cross this high, it would be interesting. But like I said, this could be the point where they push down to go up at that 18.1. So we'll see. Is it 5 minute? Okay, yeah. So yeah, guys, I'm just in a waiting game. Based off the risk of this trade. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, then I have one chance to shoot again around the 18-100 on that 15 minute area and that 5 minute area down here. But it just depends on how it would bounce and would it present the signal, and it just depends on, and this, basically between now 11:30 and then noon time, like lunchtime and PM session, how we close and how the line graph is going to look, right? So if, we start breaking higher and start closing higher highs and higher lows, possibly yes, we can get back above 18.2, and take the intermediate high of the day. But it's just a waiting game at this point to see what they want to do. Any closes back above 18,145 though, and I would think it's pretty much that previous day low area between there and 18,160, and I think we have a chance to go higher. So I'm gonna go ahead. The only thing I do move sometimes is my take profit for the day, and I'm moving that just basically up to, where is that entry? Basically just like 38 here, but I may end up exiting the trade because, right, I'm down about $300 to $400. Right here I'd be up $2,000. You feel me? So it's like I might just end up trailing my risk or getting out there if I get a chance to ever get there. But we're just playing the game. Yeah, when you compare all three, like ES closing below 52 on the 1 hour isn't so good right now. So by 11:30, if there isn't any kind of like 5 minute strength, I'd say here, like a back above New York Open, going into news, that could be the excuse to tap 18-1. So we'll see where this 5 minute closes here in about 38 seconds. And then like 11:30 will be I think a determining factor on price today. And if price close, like I said, closes back above New York Open or that 5 minute down candle, um, possibly news could be the excuse to also push price above the 18,220s, 230s. So we'll see. That's a pretty good close. So if it can close now, what I'm focused on is like price action wise. If price can close now above this candle, then I can start to see them start to build, right? Possibly off this area because they've held this area pretty good. But I'd like to see them close above this area now and then maybe test this area one time before not giving these people who sold in the middle, the internal part of the range, a chance to cover their positions. Okay, so now it's kind of crazy. Like we're floating back in profit, right? So we're just waiting patiently here. Now, if this 5 minute and 1 minute, like I said, can close based off the end of the day, because right here is the end of the day, right? So this 15 minute can close as well in 1 minute. and close higher high here in this part of the range, right? When you're using your Fibonacci retracement from the low of the day to this internal range, if it can close above the 50, I would think that possibly and anywhere above that previous day low range, that you can definitely start. It could definitely attack the 18,230s. So that's kind of what I'm anticipating. But like I said, I'm always gonna say, because I'm always thinking this way, price could fail and price could go down into the 18,100 whole level and play better of a Fibonacci level. But I like to watch candle closures. So 24 seconds, let's see. And then like I said with ES, I would want to see it close anywhere above 51.96. So anytime that if it can close again on a 1 hour anywhere above 52, I would think that we might have a good chance being at the low of the day.
How do you handle that just with that change in structure?
I would say for this time of day, that's a good candle closer on the 15, right? Good, solid, bullish engulfing. 5 minute closing above that down candle. So now it's like, okay, is it going to be lower, 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 high, lower, 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 high, or are they going to blast that internal liquidity up into the 18,190s? So you can anticipate like a pullback down into the 15-minute down candles open, and the 5 minute, so basically the 15-minute down candles open is in alignment right now with the 5 minute down candles open, right? So you can anticipate a little bit of pullback into that area, but you're really just want to see a tap and go here to attack that wick. Like maybe price goes back below New York Open one more time and gives you one more chance, but me personally being in where I'm in, I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want them to go against that. So we'll see what we get going into the last 15 minutes of the hour. So just want to kind of show this, since we've been on here, what I'm focused on is basically a line graph, right? When that line graph starts to break structure, that's when I'll like 18,160, 18,180. If it can do that, that's when I start getting more and more confident about these buys up. Because understand, guys, people buy breakouts. So by the time we're in the move, they're getting in as it's getting close to up here, trying to buy it to break the top. And that's that volume that we want to see that continues our move. So like on a 15-minute time frame, oh shit, I was like, did I just close the order? But on a 15-minute time frame, you know what I mean? As long as that last down candle is being respected like that, if we get this close back in this range, we're gonna probably attack these highs. Like imagine if you were in a short position, right? They would, this inefficiency is just so open at 18.3 just looks so good. You know what I mean? So at this time of day, it's just, like I said, I mean, right now, like I said, I'm down about right what I'm up. So I'm down about 395 for the day. So we'll see how we finish. We locked in though right now.
Enough for that?
So, I mean, what we're looking for is what we're looking for still. The 15-minute close back in the previous day low liquidity. People can't cover their short positions that sold at the low, right? So basically, this is something I want to kind of show is note card trading. All right. So this is the note card trading, right? This is the low of the day area. So this is where all the great buys should come potentially. And then this is where at the high of the day, right? The current high of the day down to that same area. And we're doing it off the measurement of the Fibonacci retracement tool. All right. So we're basically playing the swing of the day like this. So now this is how I'm evaluating it, right? So you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing. And then we can do this to kind of really lock in here on where we're trying to get to by, I'd say here. All right. So that 50% is in alignment, as you guys can see perfectly. And so now, as you see, we've become above here. We'll be up almost $2,000 off one contract. Could go another 100 points or so, up to 18.3 potentially. So we'll see what happens.
options.
Okay, so we're about to get this 5 minute close. So this is kind of what I want to show when it comes to structure, right? Is you're getting a break of structure, right? So you could anticipate a pullback, right? A little bit below the 18,150 half levels. But as a buyer right now, for me at this time of day, I just want to see higher open, higher close in 5 minutes, right? But that's bias, right? So that's what I want to see. But when I'm looking at the 1 hours and I'm looking for that close here in the next 20 minutes on ES, it's starting to push above potentially 52. And that'll give us a chance on ES to then reach for that wick at 52.26, 52.30 area as well. So that was a good 5 minute close, higher high, showing signs of strength, right? So if you look at just a 5 minute here, just for a second, and you can kind of see when it's not distorted. Let me see if I can just get like a normal. Yeah, like that. It's starting to see more than likely, especially if you were to flip it, that they may come for that wick. But we just got to see how this price is going to hold. How these fit now on the 15, I'm looking for higher open, higher close, higher open, higher close. But I'm really like as a gamer today, I'm looking for that close back above that previous day low range. And that one more break would kind of show me we have more of a chance to get there probability wise. So we'll see. Remember, we do have news here at 11:45 as well. So that inefficiency at 18,100 is open. But based off candle closures, it looks okay. But we'll see what happens. That is a factor though. Don't forget today as well, family. We have FOMC at 1 p.m. Central Time Zone. So I would say that, by an hour from now, if we're above, excuse me, if we're above 18,230s, you know, depending on how many, you could pull some of your profits, or you could trail your risk, because at that point, you're more susceptible to risk when that FOMC minutes comes out. But as like a day trade, this looks pretty good. But everything I'm waiting for is for this 15 and 5 to close above this previous day low range. Because that could show me that we're going back above 18.2. So it looks pretty good right now, but we'll see. It's like it's just me and you, Tay left, bruh. Oh man, they gonna do me wrong here, man. Let's see. So price is blasting on that 15-minute, a lot of volume coming in. So essentially, if that 15-minute closes higher than that green line, then this area on the 15, right, to me will be interesting. Like this candle, if it closes higher and continues to hold, especially at the whole level, at this point of the swing and looking at the line graph, like I said, if you get a close above here, on the futures account, I might actually close at 18,230s today, just because I'm at a point where I'm about to be at a green day again. So why not? You know, and on CFD, I'm just still holding from the lows. So I'm not doing anything over there except just waiting. So I don't want to get, ahead of my skis here. But we're looking good. So 1 hours look really good across the board. So I always keep these up here to my left. And as you can see, if we can get that, even 50% wick fill on ES 52, what is that, like 52, 16, 15s, YM's pushing up after dumping the lows, and we held higher low on these two, right? So even getting right above here, we'll be at a 100-point push. Here on the futures account, I'll probably pull that for the day. It may continue to ride off into the sunset, but that'll be the area. And like I said, on our positions here, I pretty much have my order right here, and I'm just holding on. I'm not gonna, let go until partially at market open on there, potentially, if we get there. So I don't want to get excited yet.
Ready to rock this. So we'll be back.
So we're coming into lunchtime 12 here, and one thing I want to see is ES closing above 52. And I wouldn't mind seeing 38 750s on YM, because that would give me, a little bit more confirmation for this time of day that I'll at least get this push up through this wick of the 18,230s. We got in 138. So like, if we can hit 250s, that'd be over 100 plus points in a day. I can start trailing my risk if I want to, or I could take the whole position. We'll kind of see what happens. Most likely I'm gonna take the whole position. and just trail my CFD positions. But we'll see. So essentially what I'm trying to see on the line graph before I would really cap this trade off would be the 15-minute closing higher than this high. It's like right now it's showing that right now, but it's not breaking higher. So if it rejects 18.2 and takes me out, it takes me out, right? And hits the 18.1 level, I still have the ability to take that trade. But as of right now, if it's gonna hold the previous day low area, then that would be good. But if not, I think it'll slip this area, hit 18.100, and then that'll be my only last entry of the day. But it depends though, because we have quite a bit of news that just came into the market. So we want to watch ES and see how it's playing that 52 level as well. If it starts flipping lower than 52, like very aggressively, there's not really anything stopping 5190 on there. So we just got to watch these levels here.
Good news, we're seeing some.
So if you look at ES on that 1 hour, it's definitely slipping 52 right now. So, this 18.100 idea could be more probable, but we'll see if this 5-minute closes in 57 seconds lower low than that candle. It definitely has a chance to reach for that level of this part of the swing of the day.
Well, you already started, so we'll save that one for later. Here's Michael.
Is what it is. So that's a stop out here, which like I said is okay because that puts me at 470 something. So max for the day is going to be 600. So pretty much at this point, which I think will happen in the PM session if it works, is the bounce off the 15.5 area. So if they can push below New York Open, go to the 78.6 of the swing, that would be good. They may just take the liquidity from all that area here that was relatively equal, and do its thing, but I'd have to see something. But I'd rather see them come down at this point and hit this area. And then looking at ES at the same time, I mean, that 1 hour is super bearish. But it's when you do a 15, it's like right in the 50% of the last down candle. So the risk to the lows is the low is 51.76 and price is at 51.87. So it's like it's a 10-point risk from that framework of that 1 hour. So it actually looks better just to its lows overall. Let me look at it from here. Let me see here. Yeah, on the 15, it looks really good in that area. So yeah, if this could extend down and touch the 18 ones and show me something that I'd want to, play, I may play it, but I may just chalk it up too, honestly. Because the FOMC is gonna be I'll probably like stop recording at like 12:20 and then do a recording for FOMC. But if we can get this area right here in the first 15 minutes, I'm gonna probably take this trade. And I just need to know my risk low. 18,053. Okay, just factor in 053. The take profits are gonna be in the 18,300s. Okay. So now like this is even with one contract is way too much, but as it gets down into right below this wick here, let's see where that price would be. So right in that 105 range, it'd be way different. Right now we're in the 120s. So if we hit down to that 105 and then we get the signal, then I would probably start framing that up. Let me make sure that's the low again. 18,550. Okay, so now I just want to know the exact low. Oh shit, I was like done by. But I need to do it like this too. Because I need to be able to see. So stop loss is 18,053. Take profit 18.3. Okay. So now it's going to come down to this last down candle, but price playing above or below whole level, and then being able to frame this up to where it makes sense. So, if you framed it up from here, when it slips that liquidity, how far is that low? Way too much for that one. So 50% of the candle, where is that going to be? Probably like right around here. That's more realistic to look for something when it gets to like the bounce. So I'll be reading the price here. So I may have to adjust the stop loss. That'd be about it. Like if 5-minute engulfs at a certain area down here. ES 51.86. So that low is 51.76. And then YM is making lower lows. So that's crazy. She's been running all day. The dollar is making higher highs. So she's stupid strong. And the timing, right? The timing, the 15-minute close, you know, turn of the dial, you know, this time of day, it's like it's either make it or break it, you know. ES is pushing lower, 51.85 on that 1 hour. So gotta see a signal then too. So this, let's see here, this 15.5 area is pretty good. I mean, for 12.15, but I'd want to see that 5-minute present a signal. 1 minute looked pretty good, but at 5 minute, I'd want to see like being solid. So like when I'd start looking at the risk, if it goes higher and comes back down, I could start evaluating this low 18.130 instead of 0.53. So like right now, it's like I can already do that. Like this is 18.115 and 3/4. Right. So that risk isn't, you know, if I want to buy 50% of the candle, I want to buy below the open. So if I get the signal, boom, boom, then yeah, I'll take it. Because they'll confirm. Now it could be aggressive, but like I said, I'm down for the day, so I want to wait for price action to kind of show me that it actually wants to do that stuff. Now that risk is going up, right? So I don't want to buy when it's going up. I want to buy when it comes back and touches that New York Open. But I already have the low set of where I want to get in and where the stop loss needs to be. So now I don't have to think about the order when I take the entry here in a second. 7 seconds. So if it closes higher, that's as soon as it touches down, I'm gonna buy it.
Order filled.
Right. So as soon as I'm playing this candle right here, I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to play, you know, if I play lower, I play lower, but this will be the last one that I would take today. Because if it doesn't just order fill and you know, play back above New York Open here, then so be it for the people who win the so be it for people who win the 18.100 entry today. Let me see though, close this part down because I do want to see the actual price action here. So you could that's aggressive playing the top of it like that. You could play the 50% if you want to, but I'm just kind of like I'm either gonna make it or break it today. So the order was above New York Open, unfortunately. 4, 6, okay, yeah. Make sure the numbers are right. So it didn't engulf the candle and actually close higher, but it closed more than 80% of the candle. So a little bit better confirmation would have been if it would have closed higher, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, bro, for the recording, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one so it doesn't block it, and I'm gonna send this part over as part 1, and then it'll take me like 15 minutes. I'm gonna come back on and start recording for FOMC. So I'll holler at you in a minute because I don't want it to go over and not be able to go. So this is part 1 for April 10th, 2024.